150th. That's awesome. I just wanted to come live, see if anybody was on, if anybody was here. I wanted to apologize to a few people. I had posted a bunch of videos that were part of my past YouTube channel, which is, videos that I had made that were, I posted them as private when I meant to post them as public. So they're all up now in the right formats. So I just wanted to come live to let everybody know that the videos are up. There's, I think, 11 new videos. Well, they're new to you guys. They're not new to me. But I just wanted to apologize for that. Like I said, guys, I wanted to say happy 4th of July. Please be safe out there. Please be responsible out there. I am the One Fun Guy Podcast. If you're not new to me, welcome to my channel. If you are new to me, welcome back. I just wanted to say hi and hope everybody's doing well, that everybody's having a good weekend. I normally don't do YouTube lives, but I figure, you know what, I'm going to start getting into the game a little bit. Maybe come on for 3 or 4 minutes, see what I get, see if anybody else is on, see if anybody has anything they want to say, if they have any interest in my podcast. Guys, I'm always up for critiques. So if anybody has anything that they want to see or that they want me to say or questions that you want me to ask, email me, onefunguypodcast@gmail.com. Message me here on YouTube. I'm on One Fun Guy Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So you guys can find my handle, One Fun Guy Podcast. Send me messages, critique me. If there's anything that you want to see me do differently, if there's anything you want me to adjust, if there's anything you want me to change in my format, my length of podcast. Right now, I usually try to keep them as close to an hour as I can get them. That's just for viewership. Sometimes I let them fly. But most of the times I like to just cut them right around that 45 or 50 minute mark. That way, so they're not super long and people can engage within them. But if there's anything that you want me to do differently, or any guests that you might want to see live, or anything that you might think might help me at all, my background, my lighting, obviously I'm in the studio, but I'm not set up to do a podcast, so all my lights are off. I just have the main light on, so you could see that the One Fun Guy is washed out. I'll turn it on so you guys could see it. You really can't, obviously, because the light is on behind me, so you won't really be able to see the One Fun Guy, but it's lit up, it's there. But I'm just kind of hanging out, guys. It's low key on a Friday. I'm off of work today, so I just wanted to come on now. I'm going to enjoy my Friday night. Obviously, my neighborhood is blowing off fireworks like crazy. The official one is tomorrow. Hopefully the weather holds out. I am right outside of Chicago, so we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to come live just to tell you that the videos have been up, that I'm here. I have a podcast lined up next Sunday. I also have I'm going to be going live from Wind Up Chicago. It's a watch show in the Chicagoland area. So if you are local to the Chicagoland area and you want to come to a watch show, you can meet me there. You can rub elbows with me. We could talk. We could go live, do a podcast, whatever you want to do if you're there. If you just want to shop and see some cool microbrand watches, they have all of the brands that are there. Last year they had, I think, over 35 brands. And this year I think there's even more. So it's just a really cool event. I'll get to see Greg. I had Greg as a guest on my podcast. He is Greg Watchman on Instagram. He was a very pivotal part of me getting into the watch game when I did. Obviously, I've always been a fan of watches, but I saw him on Teddy Beldasar's podcast, and I reached out to him and said, hey, would you want to do mine? And he's like, yeah, absolutely, let's set it up. So he was kind of like my first watch person that I had on my podcast. So that was always special to me. And now me and Greg are friends. We text all the time. We've kept in touch. So it's just a unique, experience to see. Even if you're not so much a fan of watches, there is a lot of other things that they have there. And surprisingly enough, my first time there, which was 3 years ago, I didn't buy a watch. I bought a knife. A mouse knife was there, and they're awesome. And they were having these deals, and I kept going back to this one knife. It kept drawing my eye. And so it was at the end of the show, and I said, hey, I go, this is a little bit pricey. Would you take this offer? And the guy's like, sure. So we made the deal, and I walked out with a knife. Now, the last two shows I've been at, I bought watches. So I bought an Islander watch the first time, and I bought a Seiko watch the second time. I don't know what I'll get this year if they have anything. Usually I try to stay to the deals. I like going on Friday and Saturday and kind of scoping it out. And then usually by Sunday, when the vendors don't want to haul anything back to their particular cities or where they're from, they're usually more willing to wheel and deal at the end of the show to get rid of the stuff that they have there because they don't want to haul that much stuff back. That's usually my game plan. We'll see how it works. It was effective last year. Islander had a really cool thing where they basically had about, I would say 70, maybe 80 watches on about 3 trays. And they pretty much said, make a deal. If it's reasonable, we'll accept it. So $600-700 watches you get for $250, $300. Some of the $500 watches, they were going for sub $100. So if you were wanting to buy a watch and you didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, Islander had that. Laco was having 50% off. So any watch that was there, you could get it for half off if you bought it right through the vendor. That was pretty neat. A couple people had, maybe knock off, $300 or $400 if it was a super expensive watch. One of the cool items that was there, or at least I thought it was Strapco was there, and they had all of their straps that you can't get really anywhere else. They had some stuff that was new to the market that wasn't even on their online website. So if you were lucky enough to be one of the first ones at Strapco, they had some really, really cool stuff. So that was very, very interesting. Fortis Watches was giving away these beautiful travel cases. All you had to do was basically engage with them. You didn't have to buy a watch at all. They were giving bags away with a bunch of catalogs and stickers and goodies and stuff like that. And so it was just a unique thing, right? So like I said, first year, I didn't even buy a watch. I bought a giant mouse knife. That was really, really cool. I met those guys and we stayed in touch. So now, I'm a big fan of their products. So it's just kind of a unique experience that, we can kind of network and talk and make friends just by going to an event that you wouldn't think, would only be watches, but there's so many other things in the horological field that are there, right? There's a couple companies that are out there where they do free engraving, or some of them will have a dinner afterwards and they'll give you a guest pass, and you gotta have one of these invite only things to go to their dinner, and then they'll bring you to their watch shop. There was a couple places last year that were doing that were Chicago locals. So it's just a fun experience. If you're in and around the Chicagoland area and you happen to like watches, it's a cool way to spend a weekend. It's free to get in. They don't really, bother you. They let you bring in beverages of your own. So bring waters, bring pops, bring whatever. Because if you go there and you buy them, you're going to pay, kind of upscale price for that kind of stuff. But bring a bottle of water or a container of water, and they don't care. Last year I had a backpack. It was great. Put the water bottle in there. I had all the books and stuff like that. Anything that I was gifted, I brought to the backpack, emptied it out when I got home. The next day when I showed up, I did the same thing. There were a lot of cool people there that weren't there the first day that were there the second day, and then vice versa, being there Friday night to Saturday to Sunday. So you get to see different people. They did do a live podcast from there. I was actually trying to get on it, but they were only allotting certain questions. And that was where I was trying to meet the other vendor that I had been introduced to. So I wasn't really able to partake in that particular podcast, but I did network with a bunch of people there that I said, if you're ever available to do a podcast and you want to hop on mine, I would love to have you as a guest on my podcast. And now that I started the Guns and Watches channel, that's going to be specific for guns and watches. So I will be going live from the Guns and Watches channel, not the One Fun Guy podcast channel. Obviously, I'll share all the videos and the experiences that I have with that channel, but I will be on the Guns and Watches channel specifically for the Wind Up Chicago Watch Show that's happening next weekend. So again, guys, if you're in the Chicagoland area and you want to come, you're more than welcome. Just go to windupchicago.com, register, get your free pass for the day, and then from there they'll have you, as a guest to the watch show, and then from there you just kind of look around and meet some different people and kind of ask some questions, and be in the know. And if you're not in the know, I can get you in the know. If it's your first time, if you've been there before and you want to meet up and you want to talk watches with me or anybody that I'm there with, feel free. I'm going to try to make a little bit more connections into the field this year, as opposed to not making the connections that I had once made. That is my plan of attack anyways. So I don't know if it's going to work out for me or not, but I'm hoping it does. But it just is a good way to, like I said, just network and talk and chat and have a good time and goof around and, tell stories. And, everybody's there is interested in watches. So it's a very fun event. Like I said, even if you're not into the watch culture, just being there is really a fun experience. So that's what I have going on, though. Like I said, guys, I just wanted to come on live real quick, basically to apologize for all the guests that I had on that their videos were private and now I posted them as public. So if you're new to the One Fun Guy podcast channel, I uploaded a bunch of videos that were private at one point. I didn't realize they were private. It was never my intention. My intention was to make them public. Unfortunately, I just didn't do it. So with that being said, I just wanted to thank everybody for being part of the One Fun Guy podcast and the Guns and Watches podcast. I hope to see everybody next weekend at Wind Up Chicago. If you, like I said, want to be a guest or you know somebody who does, onefunguypodcast@gmail.com. Drop me an email and we'll go from there. So again, happy 4th of July, America. Happy birthday, America. Happy 250th. Be safe, be smart, have fun, enjoy, and I'll see everybody on the next one.